Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Så till kusten kere konso bättre konso felino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Yeah, let's get it started with Jason and Ben and EK. It is a Monday. So as always, our buddy Eric Casilius joins us on WannaBet on a Monday. This is the only daily sports wagering game show in existence that I'm aware of. We track our results here, guys. Our goal is for you guys to be a part of our WannaBet betting team, both here on the show and also in our super Discord. And we want to beat the books together, and we want to make sharp plays that are refined, that are nuanced. And yes, we have some fun along the way, but primarily we're here to beat the books. We do this every single day, not just every single weekday. First, second, and third down are three favorite plays that we have made since our last show. Could be on a game today, a game tonight, a game Tuesday night, a future down the road. But this show is urgent, and these are the plays, three favorite plays that we have made. Fourth and long is really fourth and short. We continue to do really well in quick hitters. Nerfies, no run first inning. Yes, run first inning. First three over-unders. First three money lines. First quarter bets in other sports outside of baseball. We will be back on fourth and short. In overtime, we continue to focus on the NFL. We're looking at week one plays that we have made recently that we want to share with you. As always, though, Beltway Ben, because we are fully transparent, how have we done since launching this show May 21st? And how did we do last night? There you have it, people. Another nice night for us at WannaBet. Shame on me for thinking LA Galaxy might score a single goal at home after playing great in Leagues Cup. You know what? I'm really hot in MLB. I'm really hot in Champions League. I am really hot in NFL preseason. I'm not great in Leagues Cup / MLS, and I should have taken the weekend off and just seen what MLS looked like after shutting down for 2 weeks to play in Leagues Cup. So shame on me there. I apologize for that. And before we go any further, we have to have a little fun here. So I've been riding the Brew Crew. Quinn Priester pitched yesterday. My guy, Quinny P, cash for me. So EK, I sing that song. I serenade Beltway Ben and our viewers yesterday to get them on board the Brewers gravy train. And he looks at me like I have 20 heads. And I'm like, I know you're not a big music guy, Beltway Ben, and I know you're young, but tell me that you're familiar with Let It Be from the Beatles. Nothing.
By the way, did you ever see the movie Yesterday where the guy basically wakes up? He's a musician and the Beatles never existed.
Yeah, and so he steals
and he's
all
playing
this stuff.
Let It Be for his parents. And they're like, oh, yeah, leave it be. It's terrific. And then the doorbell keeps ringing. And he's like, you're hearing Let It Be for the first time. And they're just like entertaining the neighbors. And he's getting frustrated. This is how I feel right now.
Yes.
How do you let it be?
Beltway Ben heard Quinny P before he heard Let It Be. And I'm not a big Beatles guy. I frankly, I think the Beatles are overrated. That's just me.
I don't know if we can be friends.
But
next time, by the way, next time I do the show, I have a giant grand piano because you know my kids are music kids.
Yes.
And a giant Beatles Sgt. Pepper's poster behind it, and I'm going to do the show with that.
You need to do it from there, and you need to be playing "Let It Be" on.
I can't play anything. They could play it. I can't play anything.
Yeah, but Quinny P cast for Quinny P was not good.
Quinny
P.
I'm going to be saying it the whole time now.
He didn't pitch well, and it didn't matter because Joey Ortiz and my boy, the Z-Man Isaac Collins, kept coming through, and the Brew Crew cashed again. Beltway Ben, before we move on, your thoughts on Quinny P, your thoughts on Let It Be, your thoughts on last night.
Yeah, well, I think I did listen to it yesterday. I think I heard it at the end of a movie.
Okay.
Before. It did sound kind of familiar, but again, very uninteresting. Not something I'd ever listen to again. I just have no interest in that at all.
I got news for you, buddy. You're going to hear it again in 4 days when Quinny P's back on the bump. Because I would be goddamn shocked if I'm not back on Quinny P. You know me, and you know I love me some Quinny P.
I can't believe they won that game. When Mullins hit that home run, I thought for sure it was over, but they fought back and they continue to do it shockingly. But I had a good day.
Collins, boom, Diaz, get out of here.
By the way, I now keep thinking of songs with Quinny P in it, like "You down with Quinny P? Yeah, you know me."
There we go.
You could do that one instead of OPP.
Yes.
It'd be great.
Yes, that's one I actually know. That's
anybody looking for 2019 Bowman Draft autograph Quinn Priesters? I got plenty. I'll sell you some. You want in? I got more than I know what to do with. All right, enough nonsense.
Oh, wait, I didn't even get to. We had a 2-unit play cash yesterday. I know we were still talking about the Brewers, but we had a 2-unit play cash yesterday with Carrington. Very good. Another 2-unit. Like we've only played a few. We did cash another 2-unit play here though. And she only had 3 points at halftime. I was a little worried. All of a sudden, the second half she goes for 12. So it was a good day.
Gigi approves. Gigi's a 2-unit bet. Wait, that's right. Good. Thank you for pointing that out. Beltway Ben is crushing WNBA. Okay. EK, first bet of the day. What you got for us?
I'm going to go to the Yankees over Minnesota. I'm worried that the value is getting squeezed out. This opened at $1.54, and I was like, "Yup." Now I blinked; it was in the $1.60s. Now there's probably one left that's under $1.70 anywhere at any book. So the value's coming out. But look, one thing people are realizing: the Twins, their bullpen is ultra taxed, and their starter has an ERA of almost 6 on the road. They just don't have anybody today. And the Yankee bullpen is incredibly fresh. This is one of those rare overlap days on the calendar where the Yankees can throw everybody and the Twins may call a guy out of Section 232 to finish up in the 8th inning. So give me the Yankees in this spot, but you got to grab it now because the value is going to get squeezed out as the number spirals up as the day goes on.
Yeah, at some point, Aaron Judge will look like Aaron Judge again, I assume. Beltway Ben.
Yeah, first, I will be tailing that. I do like the Yankees today. Zebby Matthews is not very good. Yankees have to start winning some games. But here, I do like the Minnesota Lynx to win the WNBA championship in the future here, plus 155. Again, this is the odds-on favorite, so it's not super fun. It's not like a long dog that's going to surprise people. They beat the Liberty in New York yesterday as an underdog, and Brianna Stewart wasn't playing, but neither was Nafisa Collier, who's going to be the MVP in this league. They've got an experienced coach who's won this 4 times. They also just added Dejanay Carrington, who I talked about it. That addition to me is what puts them over the top. She cast our 2-unit play yesterday, but it's not just on the offensive end, right? She's one of the best on-ball defenders in the WNBA. I just think with what they have, they're going to get Collier back probably in a week or two. She just has an ankle sprain, which isn't great. But again, it looked pretty bad when she went down. They're going to get her back. And this is revenge spot for last year. They lost to the Liberty last year in New York. Was tough, but I think they're the better team now after the trade deadline. I liked what they did more than anybody else. And at plus 155, again, it's the odds-on favorite, but from what I've seen from them, I do think Collier, the best player in the WNBA right now, leads them to a championship and they win it.
Not Caitlin Clark? You mean there's things to talk about in the NBA? I mean, in WNBA, they have nothing to do with oft injured and I think shooting like 30% from 3-point land. Caitlin Clark? Really?
I don't think we've given out a Caitlin Clark prop on here.
No, we haven't.
I don't think
because we're a smart betting show. Look, this play for me on first down, and I don't do this very often, but I can't figure out why my boys at Malmo in Sweden are almost 5-1 to win a match against FC Copenhagen where they just played 0-0. Okay, we were on this first leg. They host in Sweden. It's a 0-0 match. Now, look, FC Copenhagen were the better side. They created more chances, and Malmo didn't score at home. But they also didn't concede the almighty road goal. Little history lesson for you guys. Malmo and Copenhagen really only separated by a bridge. 30 kilometers separating the team in Denmark from the team in Sweden. Very easy to get back and forth. I expect a nice a nice Malmo contingent in Denmark for the second leg here. Again, they just played 0-0 last week. You're giving me plus 475 to win this 1-0. A Malmo side that has twice in the last 10 years advanced past this stage in Champions League qualifying and got to Champions League proper. A Copenhagen team that had not been conceding at all until this weekend in domestic play where they gave up like 3 at home. I think all the pressure is on Copenhagen here. I don't understand why this isn't more like a plus 175, maybe a plus 250. I'm not saying to go crazy here, but RIP, my man Chopper, a little bit of Chopper meal money on Malmo to win this thing. Again, I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I think they can play smart in the back, steal a goal off a corner, and milk this thing for a 1-0 victory. It's just too good for me to pass up. That match is tomorrow. I don't think that's still going to be there come tomorrow. I would be astonished if that's still there come tomorrow. Second down, Beltway Ben.
Your second down, we are going to go to the MLB. And I like the Red Sox on the money line plus Crochet 5+ strikeouts tonight. And you get minus, it says plus 155. That was from the last time. It's minus 145, actually. But arguably the best left-handed starting pitcher in the MLB here. And you have the Red Sox on the money line, who they're coming off a tough series at Petco. You lose 2 of 3 to San Diego, but it happens against good teams. Houston's coming off of a high. They just beat up on the Yankees. And by the way, Houston, the Carlos Correa trade is going to look brilliant because they gave up absolutely nothing. And all of a sudden, Carlos Correa looks like he was before he got that contract in Minnesota. But Christian Javier is making his first start after getting hit pretty hard in the PCL like most do at AAA for a few starts. I just think that Crochet, 5+ strikeouts, we never really have to worry about with him. We need them to win. I think this Red Sox offense will be able to kind of carry them to a win. And then Crochet, you get 6 to 7 of 1 to 2 run ball from him. They should win with no struggles. And again, that bullpen's also very good. Aroldis Chapman looks like his prime self this year, which is pretty shocking. So I do like the Red Sox on the money line and Crochet 5+ Ks at minus 145.
Love it. Second down for me, we're riding the Brew Crew. A couple of teams we've been riding a lot here lately on the show, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Miami Marlins. Look, originally Freddie Peralta was scheduled to go here. Now it's Quintana. They're going to move Peralta back to Tuesday to face Skeens. That's fine with me. I really don't care because what we're doing here is fading a Pittsburgh team that's not good against lefties on the road either. And we're fading Andrew Heaney, who you look at his numbers and he's overachieved, but he has extreme home road splits. Heaney on the road, a 6.55 ERA, 276 opposing batting average. He's given up 14 home runs in 55 innings pitched on the road while striking out just 39. Pittsburgh is 7-16 in his starts. 12 of those losses on the run line. Pittsburgh's lost 9 straight Heaney starts on the road, 7 of them on the run line. In Heaney's 12 road starts, the Pittsburgh Pirates have a minus 40 run differential. And we know the Brew Crew's hot. The bottom of the lineup now is on fire with Ortiz and these guys. It just seems to be interchangeable every night. Like, do I think Andrew Vaughn's going to smash something off Heaney tonight? Yeah, I do. And I don't think he'll be alone. I love Milwaukee in this spot. EK.
All right. I know this is second down and it's supposed to be my second best play, but in reality, as we've gone up, this is not only my best play today, this is one of my best plays of the month and ultimately will be one of my best plays of the year. Like, this is one where I look into the camera and say, if you don't take this, I'm going to find out where you live. I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to drag you out on the front lawn. I'm going to beat you with a bag of nickels while your neighbors watch.
Yeah.
You be stupid.
Yeah.
Okay?
While you sing
That's
the Quinny P song. Will you sing the Quinny P song while you beat their ass?
That's right. This is what I'm talking about.
Right.
This looks to me like a misprint. I don't know how this is the number. So SMU over 8.5 wins, and it's plus 100. All right, let's just do this quick because I don't want to bore everybody with schedule. But they have East Texas A&M and Missouri State. We put those in the win column. TCU is 7th in the Big 12. Syracuse is 12th in the ACC. BC is 12th in the ACC. And then they play the 3 worst teams in the ACC, which are preseason 15, 16, and 17. Not in the country, in their conference in Cal, Wake, and Stanford. All right? If they win those games, they have to lose all 4 of the remaining games. Baylor at home, Louisville is 6th in the ACC at home at SMU, Miami, who's down at home and at Clemson. They have to go 0-4, and in 3 of those games they're going to be favored, and in 2 of those games they're going to be favored by double digits. They're going to have to be wildly upset 3 different times and lose at Clemson to not go over this number. This should be not 9.5. This should be 10.5. And I don't know why it's 8.5 at plus money. I've looked at the look-ahead lines. They're going to be favored by 3 touchdowns in 8 games.
Jesus.
And we got to go over 8.5. They're going to be underdogs once out of 12 games. Grab this now before the world figures out. I know SMU's not a public team, so there's not a lot of people running up and betting the ponies over. Grab them now. It's one of the premier bets of the college football season.
Love it. Love it. All right, third down. I'm not going to overthink this one. I am going to take the Dodgers versus their in-town, sort of town rivals, I guess, the Halos. It's pretty simple for me. Yamamoto on the road, 1.63 ERA, opposing batting average of 179, a whip of 0.9. The Dodgers are 5-2 in his 7 road starts, all 5 wins on the run line. Beltway Ben knows this. When Soriano pitches for the Halos on the road, I'm generally on the Halos. When Soriano's at home, I'm fading him. 2.48 ERA on the road, 5.56 at home. LA is 3-10 in Soriano's 13 starts at home with 10 losses on the run line. The Halos have hung around and been a little spunkier and showed more fight than I thought, but this is a series that the Dodgers can't mess around with here. We're going to get the 9 at-bats from the Dodgers on the road, even though they could sleep in their own beds. Give me the Dodgers on the run line. EK.
All right, I know we're getting a little behind, so I'm going to make this quick. I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence over 23.5 touchdowns. I know you say Trevor Lawrence and over, and people snicker and laugh and all that. But here's the thing: Liam Cohen is now in town, and I saw what he did. He made Will Levis an absolute star at Kentucky, where they were talking about Will Levis potentially being the number 1 overall pick. He then took Baker Mayfield, and he threw 41 touchdowns last year, whatever he did, and had 2 unbelievable years. And now he gets Trevor Lawrence with Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, and the numbers all the way down to 23.5. I'm playing that as an alt line. I'm playing it up. You can find 22.5 if you want to lay like $1.30, which I don't. I'm going to go up to 23.5. Basically, I'm saying that Trevor Lawrence will throw 1.5 touchdowns a week. I think that they don't really have a run game. They're going to put the ball in this kid's hands. He's the guy they're saying it's got to be you this year. And if he stays upright, he's going over this number. A rare over for me, but in Liam Cohen, I trust.
Yeah, and I don't buy their defense. So points they're going to need to chase.
Right, points. Garbage time counts.
Yeah. Beltway Ben, third down.
Yeah, real quick. I actually on that one as well, EK. After you sent it in the group chat, and I looked at it, I'm like, I actually like that one as well. But we will go to the WNBA here.
I'm on it too.
Tiffany Hayes over 19.5 PRAs at -110. We've been very, very good in the WNBA. She's over this in 10 straight home games, and you still have Billings out. Thornton's done for the year, as we've mentioned on this show. Her role increases more in every single area. She's coming off of a bad shooting night, still cleared this total, and that was the home game. The Sun are horrendous. Like, I watched them last night against the Aces. They don't play any defense. They can score a little bit, but that doesn't matter here. We saw how bad they were defensively last night, and Asia Wilson had 30 points and 20 rebounds. Like, that was the first time we've seen that in WNBA history. They're coming off of a back-to-back, which is going to make it even worse for them. Tiffany Hayes, probably the best player on this Valks team, and we were on them to make the playoffs a while ago when they were still healthy. They need some wins. They're in it right now. The Sparks are right behind them. To be quite honest, both of those teams could make that and make the playoffs, and we could cash both bets because right now the Storm are playing awful basketball. So I do like Tiffany Hayes tonight at home. She's done it in 10 straight, as I said, to go over 19.5 PRAs.
Excellent. All right, 4th and long. Don't believe your lying eyes. It's 4th and short. What do you have for us, EK?
All right. Well, I guess we're going with the Nerfy, right? And This is what I'm going to hit with Arizona and Texas. I know I'm paying a little bit of a juice here at -132, but I get Nate Eovaldi and Ryan Nelson. Texas is not great offensively in the first inning. Eovaldi's terrific. This to me screams no run first inning. Right out of the gate, I'll pay the 132.
Excellent. Beltway Ben.
Yeah, I'm going back to the third down. We're going to go with Tiffany Hayes over 3.5 first quarter points. She's under this in 5 straight, but most of those are road games. She's going to play the majority of the quarter as she has. I just talked about the Connecticut defense, and this should be a bounce-back game scoring for her. People will see that number and immediately go run to bet the under, but if you watch her play at home, it's a different player at home scoring-wise compared to on the road.
Excellent. Fourth and short for me. I really do my darndest to explore those Nerfy and Yerfy markets. And sometimes it stands out to me and we parlay them together and we crush it. Sometimes we lay out completely. I thought about playing this game as a Nerfy, but decided to play first 3 innings. Give me the Cincinnati Reds to win the first 3 innings against the Philadelphia Phillies. Andrew Abbott on the mound today for the Reds, where he is ridiculous at home. 2.05 ERA at home. Gentlemen, I have a question for you. Who do you think leads the major leagues in ERA at home in the first 3 innings of starts? Who do you think has a 0.82 ERA at home in the first 3 innings of starts, which is best of anyone who's thrown a ball in Major League Baseball this year in the first inning? Who do you think, Beltway Ben?
I wouldn't think it would be Andrew Abbott. Right?
Yes, it's not Corny P. It's not Corny P. It's Andrew A. It's Andrew A. This is the batting line against Andrew Abbott at home in the first 3 innings of games. 198, 271, 298. That is a 569 OPS. Taijuan Walker's been kind of okay lately for the Phillies, but Taijuan Walker on the road first 3 innings has an ERA of 3.79. Opposing batting line on the road first 3 innings against Taijuan Walker, 308, 365, 487. That is an 852 OPS. The Reds are game. The Reds are in the thick of this wild card thing. The top of the Reds lineup's interesting. If Ely gets on, he could steal 2 bases. Like, for this money, I love it. If you want to play it first 5, when Andrew Abbott pitches at home, the Reds have 8. They're leading after 5 8 times. They're trailing after 5 twice. They're tied after 5 once. That's Abbott at home. But I want a quick hitter for you. We don't want to have to sit through half the game. So give me the Reds to win the first 3 innings. All right, overtime. We've waited long enough without talking NFL on this show. EK, overtime with the NFL. What you got?
And I'll make it quick. I have 2 tickets for week 1 in the NFL. One you turned me on to, so I got to give you credit on this one. I love Arizona to smash, and I mean smash New Orleans. 5.5, give me all of that. I think New Orleans is going to be bad. I think they're going to be worst team in the league. I actually think Arizona is going to start fast. Here's the thing with Arizona. When they're healthy, they're good, but then they get hurt. Like Kyler Murray gets banged up. As the year goes on, you don't necessarily want to play him. But early on, they're good. And the second one is I like the Jets under 18.5 against Pittsburgh. I don't believe in Justin Fields. I think they're trying to figure it out. I think they're starting to slow. Everything. I live in this area up where the Jets are. Everything they're talking about is we're going to try to win these games 17-14. I don't think they get to 20 against that defense.
Beltway Ben, OT.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bengals minus 5.5. Offense is incredible. We know the defense sucks, but it's Cleveland. Joe Flacco's probably going to be starting. And we know, he'll take shots down the field. He'll hit on a few, but he also turns the ball over a ton, especially at this point in his career. Bengals should be able to get home a little bit. And they've handled the preseason different this year. We heard Taylor talk about it. We've heard Burrow talk about it. Like, they're trying to attack this a little different. If they lose to Cleveland week 1 this year, I just can't buy anything they ever are selling again. I know
they lost. Arizona-Cincinnati teaser where all we have to do is win.
Yeah, money line teaser.
Yeah. I mean, you would get back probably even, right around even, close to it. And again, it's the NFL. Anything could happen, but I just don't see how either of those 2 teams lose to literally 2 of the probably 32nd, 31st team in the NFL by the end of the season.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely. Worst team in the AFC is the Browns. Worst team in the NFC is the Saints. And we'll see which one of them is the last to win a game. One of those 2 will be the last to win a game. All right, OT for me. We're going to do a little parlay here. We all know Andy Reid, when he has time to prepare, right? We know the number. Andy Reid's dominant off a bye. Andy Reid is 10-3 straight up in week 1 as a head coach in Kansas City. It's amazing he's been there that long, huh? He's also 9-3-1 to the over in week 1. Now, look, Usually, these division games between the Chargers and the Chiefs, if this was a game being played in Arrowhead or SoFi, I would probably lean hard to the under here, even though that number is conservative. However, one of my favorite plays this time a year ago, I was telling people, please grab the over in that Green Bay Eagles game. They are playing on a soccer field in Brazil. It is soft turf. The defense has no chance. Once you make that second cut, the ground is so unforgiving for defenders that everybody's going to be taking house calls. And Jordan Love wasn't even healthy in that game, and it was the first 1 to 45 wins. That field is not going to be any different. You want to know why? The NFL doesn't give an F. They want points. They want excitement out of the bat, right out of the gates. You've got a tuned-up Mahomes with a chip on his shoulder after the way last season ended. You've got two offenses that can get it done. You've now got a Chargers team, though, that's got to recalibrate with Alt moving to the left side. I just don't think Andy Reid loses this game. I also don't think this is a particularly low-scoring game. I don't think Andy Reid wants it to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to be playing that total. You can't play alts really yet. I'm going to probably get that down to like 41.5, something like that. I'm going to be on this game a bunch of different ways. But to get almost 2-1 right now for Andy Reid to take care of business, coming off a Super Bowl loss, and then us to get 45 points, that's where I am on that one. Again, the surface is imperative, and going back to Brazil is not going to be fun for either of these defenses. You know what has been fun? Doing this show every day and banking for you guys. Beltway Ben, can you put the graphics back? There you go. Even with a bad Quinny P yesterday, that's what we do for you. We're talking about what? 35, 47, almost 50 units up since May 21st. Me and Beltway Ben, our buddy EK has chipped in. We've had a lot of friends join us over the past few months. We're already excited about tomorrow's show. I already know 4 or 5 games I'm on tomorrow. If you're not working ahead, you're doing it wrong. Thank you for tuning in to WannaBet. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's keep cashing.